And I think that's it. I think we're ready. So like I said, blocks, if you have them, we'll do a couple of more balancy poses that you might appreciate having blocks for. You will be okay without, you'll just have to trust your legs more. And if you want something, but you don't have blocks, a chair or a couch near your mat that you can reach over and grab or have in front of you, those can be nice options just to make sure everything goes well. But we'll start seated. We'll start really simple. So find a comfortable seat. And as you sit up tall, your choice. If you've got a prop, you might sit right at the front edge of your prop. A block, a blanket, a towel, a couch cushion, any of that stuff works really well. If you don't have anything or you choose not to use anything, sit flat, but try to still find the base of your pelvis and press downwards so you can sit really tall. A prop can help because you get a little extra feedback. I hope you can see me with my little assistant here. I don't think she's going to move. She might move later, so just try to ignore her, but we'll let her stay. So palms rest in your lap. And once you're situated, you can close your eyes down. Take the first few moments just to acknowledge how you feel, how you are in time and space, body and mind. First thing we always want to do is to get centered. There are innumerable ways to center yourself and to meditate. One way that we know very well and that we typically start with is the breath. So you can check on that. Just notice your natural breath for a moment here. Of course, we slow it down, we deepen it out. As you focus on your breath, notice the other things happening in your body and in your mind. So if thoughts filter through, try to recognize them and let them float right out of your mind in the same manner that they came in. Think of clouds passing through a blue sky. Just kind of enter and leave at their will, but you don't attach to them. You don't get stuck on a train of thought. In fact, you try to pull yourself back downward out of that skyscape into the breath, which is more grounding. Notice the other things outside of your body, all of the sense doors, as they're called. So you've got the sense of touch. You can feel the temperature in the room you're in. You can feel clothing on your skin or air coming through vents. Maybe changing the temperature in the room. Feel your prop underneath you. Maybe the feeling of your yoga mat on your ankles or under your knees. Notice the sense of sound and hearing. You hear the sound of my voice. You might also hear sounds within your home. Partner, someone that you live with, wrestling around, having a snack, or using a restroom, or going up or down stairs. Notice your sense of smell. Maybe there's something that you cooked recently, or a candle was burning. Could be taste in your mouth if you recently brushed your teeth or had something to eat. So on and so forth. So all of these things that kind of bring you back into the moment, just like the breath, the ways to ground yourself. Note that we don't want to use these senses to drift elsewhere. So if we hear a sound like birds outside of a window, notice the mind will tend to want to picture those birds and what color they are and how many there are and what they're doing. So in that way, we take a stimulus and we sort of write a story around it. So don't let that happen. Instead, just notice hearing. One step further than that, notice that you're listening and sound just arrives. So Label goes as far as bird, maybe, but it doesn't go farther than that. Having become more familiar with the outside world, outside of yourself, now go inside and notice your muscles. Notice your bones, your joints, tight areas, achy areas, scar tissue, anything like that. Don't need to worry about changing anything or rewriting your story. You're just acknowledging. Notice on an organ level how you're digesting, what your heart rate is like. That brings you back to the breath rate, the lung capacity. Hopefully that's getting bigger. You've got more space to breathe as time goes on. And then check back in with one last stop. Notice what your mind is doing. If there are any emotions that you brought into this journey, onto your mat with you. So just acknowledge them and set them aside. Whatever project you're working on, whatever person you're supporting, whatever stress you're taking on, whatever tasks you have for later, spend this hour without them. All of that acknowledgement, which should bring you right into the moment with no mental energy to spare to go elsewhere. See if there's an intention that you can set. That you're here with good reason, you're here, something in mind to practice for. And inhale, palms come together at your heart. Intention in your mind, breath nice and deep. Next, exhale, bow your head to your hands. Offer up your intention, whatever that might be. And then keep your head bowed, but you can open up the eyes, interlace your fingers, and place the palms of your hands right behind your head. And then head and neck come up to neutral, so elbows are wide to the right and the left. Sit up really tall. We're going to work on the 6 movements of the spine. So the first one is twisting. So keeping this position, keeping your spine straight up and down, twist toward your right. Come back to center, so just using your abdomen, and then twist toward your left. And then come back to center. One more of each of those. Pause, twist to the right. Shoulders relaxing down the back. Come back to center, pause, and twist towards your left. And then back to center. Now we do cat-cows, flexion extension. So inhale, lift the chest, widen the elbows, maybe look up. If looking up is too much, just look straight forward. And then exhale, wrap the elbows in, round the back, and try to make a C of your spine, like your tailbone is curling underneath you. One more of each of those. Inhale, lift the chest, elbows wide, look forward or look up. And then exhale, wrap the elbows in, round the back, tailbone curls underneath you, like a capital letter C in your spine. And then come back to neutral, elbows wide. Last 2, you're going to curl up and over to the right. Try to get your left elbow to point to the ceiling. And then lift through center, you'll curl up and over to the left. Try to get the right elbow to point to the ceiling. Good. One more of each, shoulders relaxed. Lift through center, curl to the right. And then last one, lift through center and curl left. Good. And then come back to center. Release your hands, bring the fingertips to the tops of your shoulders, elbows wide, and just make 3 circles starting in the forward direction. Try to keep fingertips attached to the shoulders as you do that as best you can. And after 3, pause, reverse, and then it's like you're doing a backstroke. Same action. Try to glide the shoulder blades around on the back. Just 3 of those. And then when you finish, you can release the arms, roll the shoulders out once or twice on their own. And then we'll step to the top of the mat. So any props that you'd like to have, bring them with you. Or you might, again, have something in front of your practice space to help you with balancing poses. And then you'll step up onto your feet. Step your feet about as wide as your shoulders. Bend your knees so your belly and your thighs connect, and then grab hold of opposite elbows. And take a moment just to sway gently side to side. Head nice and heavy. Elbows are dangling towards the floor, or option for straight arms, just letting the whole arm drop down. See what feels better. One more sway from side to side. And then with an exhale, come back to center. Lower your fingertips underneath your chest. So a block or a prop or even a chair out in front of you could come in handy here to have a little more support. Take your left hand to your prop or the floor. You can bend your knees as much as you want. Right hand comes to the low back. Try to make sure that it's flat. And then roll the right shoulder up and onto your back, both knees still bending, and then peel the right arm up into the air. 3 options. You can look down, you can look sideways, or you can look up, but I want a little tuck to your chin so the back of the neck stays long. And then look down and we'll switch. Right hand comes down, left hand to the low back. Make sure that it's flat. If not, adjust until it is. Roll the left shoulder up and onto the back. And then peel the left arm up into the air. Gaze can follow, or you can keep looking down. And then one more of each. Look down, left hand comes down. Just like before, right hand to the low back, make it flat. This time, stretch the right leg a little closer to straight. Some of us will go all the way straight. Most of us probably a little bend in the knee still feels good. Roll the right shoulder up and onto the back, keep the low back flat, and then peel the right arm up. And look down, we'll switch sides one more time. Both knees bend, right hand comes down. Left hand to the low back, flatten it out. Straighten out the left leg any amount, left shoulder on the back. And then peel the left arm straight up into the air. And you can look up only if you want to. Inhale, stay. Exhale, release back down, both knees bend. Props to the side if you use them. Palms go flat, step all the way back, plank pose. Top of a push-up. Now you can do this with your knees down if you'd like to, and if anything's going on in your wrists and you really don't want to do plank, that's okay. We'll be in down dog soon enough. But if you can be in plank, grip the mat with your hands, and I just want you to gently rock forward and back onto the balls of the feet and then pressing the heels towards the back of the room. Notice my hips are not dropping, my shoulders aren't changing. It's a really strong pose for the wrists, the shoulders, and the belly. We're here for 3 and 2 and 1. Now downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Little adjustments in your hands and feet are fine. Try not to do big adjustments because we want more or less that same stance. And then one knee bends at a time, the opposite leg straightens out. You might get some snaps and pops and cracks as the feet, the ankles, the knees, the shins all start to loosen up. We'll get right into some upright movement. So inhale, the right leg can sweep up and back. You'll bend the knee, open up the hip. Try to keep your shoulders nice and strong, square them off towards the front of the mat, and then right knee to your nose, come forward, lift the shin bone up, pause, step the foot between your thumbs, or grab the heel, sweep it up. If you've got them, you might grab your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use fingertips or find a modification that you like. Inhale 3 of these. We're going to straighten out the right leg, straightening any amount, and then exhale, bend the right knee. And repeat 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 1 more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Props to the side, fingertips to the mat. Big step forward. Left foot meets the right. Feet hips width in parallel. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Palms to shins or fingers down. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Press down through your feet. Inhale, reach the arms all the way around and up. Like you want to touch the ceiling, little pause. And exhale, Samastitihi. Circle the arms down so the palms meet right in front of your heart. And then checking in with your intention, deepening your breath. Inhale, reverse that, circle the arms around and up. And exhale, dive all the way forward. Bend the knees, nice and slow, touch the mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen again. Now this time, listen carefully. Bend your knees, get your fingertips to the mat or some props. The left foot stays forward, the right foot steps back. So it's the opposite leg from what we were just working on. Melt the right knee down. Scoot the right knee back a little bit, point the toes, go for the tips of your fingers or higher level blocks if you're using blocks. And then inhale, cow pose your spine, lift up through your heart. Exhale, cat pose your spine, round through your back. And 2 more of each. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 1 more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Back to neutral, props to the side, palms flat, curl the right toes, lift the right knee, downward facing dog, stretch all the way back. Left foot meets the right, give it a little wiggle. And then inhale, come forward, plank pose. Now you can pause in plank, see what it feels like, and then go right back to down dog, or if you feel pretty good, knees up or knees down, lean forward, lower halfway, and then down to your belly. Point your feet, rest your forehead. Inhale, just 1 cobra pose. Curl the chest up, keep the elbows wrapping in. And then exhale, everyone, downward facing dog, stretch all the way back. So anytime the planks and the chaturangas happen, take them or leave them. If you're too tired today, you're better off just waiting till you've got lots of energy to work on those because they can be tough. Now left side when you're ready, inhale, sweep the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Notice if your shoulders change when you open up the hip. Try to keep the shoulders exactly the same. And then left knee to your nose, come forward. Lift the shin bone up. Step the foot between your thumbs or help it to get there. And then your choice, fingertips or props. Inhale, straighten out the left leg any amount. And then exhale, bend the left knee back to a square. 2 more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And 1 more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Props to the side, fingertips to the top of the mat, step forward. Right foot meets the left. Feet parallel. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold in a little deeper every time. Ground through your feet. Inhale, reach the arms around and up. Exhale, circle the arms down, palms meet in prayer. Little pause, reconnect, then reverse it. Inhale, circle the arms back up. Exhale, swan dive forward, nice and slow, touch the mat. Bend your knees. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Make some space, and then exhale, the right foot stays, and the left foot steps all the way back. So again, make sure that you're switching legs because we're trying to not tire anything out too quickly. Now, left knee comes down. Scoot the left knee back a little bit, point the toes. Find the tips of your fingers or higher level props if you've got the option. And then using whatever's underneath you for leverage, inhale, cow pose your spine, heart lifts up high. And exhale, cat pose your spine and round your back. 2 more on the breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then again, back to neutral, props to the side. Palms flat, curl the left toes, lift the left knee, step it back, downward facing dog, right foot meets the left. Now, if you like, take a break, find a child's pose. If you feel kind of medium energy, stay in your down dog, pedal out the feet. And if you feel good, you want more, inhale, come forward to plank. Knees up or down. Lean forward, exhale, lower halfway. And then all the way down. And the shoulders stay higher than the elbows, even as you get to the floor. That's important to keep the front of the shoulder nice and open. Rest your forehead, point your feet. Inhale, curl the chest up. Find a cobra pose if you're with me. And then everyone, downward facing dog. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you took a rest. Or maybe you followed along for a little extra. Pedal out the feet once you're back in down dog. We're going to keep moving a little longer. Inhale, right leg lifts up into the air. Bend the knee, open up the hip. And then right knee to your nose again. Lift the shin bone up around the back. And step the foot between your thumbs. Now this time, crescent lunge. So separate the feet to hips width apart. Make sure you've got a little extra room. If your feet were side by side, they'd have 2 fist width between them. So that's a good way to eyeball and see if you're in the right shape here. And then press down to come all the way up and reach your fingertips to the ceiling. So think ribs towards the spine, tailbone towards the floor. It's like you're consolidating your midsection. And then find a focal point to help you balance, because we're going to add on. Now, next time you inhale, straighten out the right leg. Exhale, bend the right knee to a square, torso halfway forward, arms sweep back. Now from here, you could just stay. You could grab some blocks, bring them out in front of you and use them. Or you could use no blocks, hover the arms. Option, warrior 3, float the left leg. So you could be here, or staying in your crescent lunge. Take a pause when you get there, firm that right hip in. And then with or without help from your hands, you're going to float it back, find that same lunge. Little pause, maybe you've been there. And then we've got 3 more, same thing, just do your best. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, right leg is strong. Exhale, halfway forward, arms sweep back. Now you can stay or float the left leg, warrior 3. Take a pause, firm the right hip in, open the chest. And then with or without your hands, float it back, find your lunge. Nice job. 2 more, same thing. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, halfway forward. Stay or challenge yourself, float the left leg. Warrior 3. And then float it back, lunge. Last one already. Take it slow. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, halfway forward. You can stay, or last time, warrior 3. This time holding 3. And 2. And 1. Land in your lunge if you're not there yet. Pause. Left hand's going to come all the way down to the mat or a prop, depending on how close to the mat you are. And then the right arm's going to peel straight up into the air. So lean back, take a twist. And then right arm up and overhead, palm facing down. And from your right shoulder blade, 3 big, slow shoulder circles, just loosening up the upper back. Take your time to get through all 3. After you do, pause, reverse, go the opposite way for 3. And 2. And 1. Now look down. Right fingertips come down, pop up onto your left fingertips, set the left knee down. You might grab your blocks again and stretch the right leg towards straight. Give it a little stretch and rest. Inhale, chest towards your right big toe, shoulders back. And then exhale, keep the reach and just fold over your right leg. You can tuck your chin and close your eyes. 5 slow, deep breaths. And 4, notice if there's anywhere tension creeps in without you realizing. 3. 2. And 1. Now blink the eyes open, bend the right knee. Step the right foot flat, props to the side if you're using them. Fingertips frame out the right foot. Curl the left toes, lift the left knee, and then big step forward, top of the mat. Left foot meets the right. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold back in. Press down through your feet. Inhale, reach the arms around and up. Exhale, Samasthiti, palms come to prayer. Little pause, reconnect. And then intention in mind, reverse that movement. Inhale, circle the arms around and up. Exhale, swan dive all the way forward. Soften the knees, touch the mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. And then exhale, the left foot stays, the right foot steps all the way back. So again, left foot forward, right foot back. Make sure you keep switching. Right heel spins down, think warrior 1. So remember that feet hips width idea that we kept coming back to. That's what we want here. So if you had a line from your left heel to the back of the mat and another line where your right heel was, they would be parallel lines with 2 fists width between them. So try to set that up and then press down, lift up, hands to your hips to start. Notice how this right leg kind of draws you back in space on your right hip. So instead, try to draw the right hip forward, bend this left knee deeper, and then take your right arm forward like you want to shake someone's hand. Reach your left arm up into the air like you want to touch the ceiling. And then keep your pelvis as it is. Inhale, both arms reach up. And then exhale, just see if you can interlace fingers behind your lower back. Just see. If not, hook your thumbs or hold on to your t-shirt. And then inhale, straighten out the right leg, or the left leg rather, lift your chest. Collarbones are wide. Exhale, rebend the left knee, lead with your heart. And just for a couple of breaths, you're gonna bow forward. You can hover just above your left leg. You can lean on your left leg, or you can slide right inside of it. Try to bend that left knee. We're here just 2. And 1. Now press down, lift all the way back up. Warrior 1. Pause at the top, arms reach up. And then you're gonna slice it open, heel to arch to find warrior 2. So you'll have to look down and check out your feet. Notice I kind of hopped my right foot back in space so that if I look down, my left heel and the center of my right foot line up in one straight line. Arms go wide once you get there. This should be a pretty familiar place, hopefully a muscle memory by now. We've been practicing a long time. From here, lean forward, flip the left palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle pose, top arm up and over. And then 2 more with your breath, same legs. Inhale, peaceful warrior, curl back. Exhale, side angle, bring it forward. One more time, inhale, peaceful. Exhale, side angle. Now inhale to a straight-legged warrior 2. Press down, lift up. This left knee can bend. In fact, we don't want the knee to lock out or hyperextend ever. So if it feels better to bend the knee a little bit, that's fine. Go with that. Once you get into position, draw back on the left hip, lengthen forward. Reach as far as you can, and then take your left hand down to your shin, or a block outside the shin might feel nice as well. Right arm peels up into the air. You're just gonna lean back and turn the chest open. Imagine your 2 arms, your 2 legs could grow longer. So you're reaching actively through them. And then just like those earlier twists, you can look up, down, or sideways, but tuck your chin a little bit. And that'll help the back of the neck to get longer. And keep the breath going. Last 3. And 2. And 1. Now press down, lift up, warrior 2. Rebend the left knee, pause, arms reach wide. And then cartwheel the arms down, frame out the left foot. Spin to the ball of your right foot, props out of your way, palms go flat. Downward facing dog, stretch it back. If you'd like a vinyasa, that plank, chaturanga, back bend, down dog sequence, you can do that on your own. If you prefer not to vinyasa, just pedal out the feet with me. And then everyone, whether you take the vinyasa or not, from down dog, when you land there, melt your knees down to the mat, regular tabletop position. Shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. Grip the mat just like you were doing the same down dog or plank pose shape. And inhale, cow pose your spine. Exhale, cat pose instead. Round your back, push the mat away, spread your shoulder blades apart. And then 3 more simple but effective. Inhale, cow. Might even close your eyes, try to feel a little more of what's happening. Exhale, cat. Again, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one, same thing, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Before we get our last little bit, come back to neutral, knees wide, big toes together. Take a moment in your child's pose. So hips sit back, arms walk forward, rib cage melts downward. And let's add a twist for the upper back. So lift just a little bit, take the right arm and thread it underneath the left side of the chest, palm facing open. Gaze can turn to the left, right temple can sink down. Give it a couple breaths to passively open the upper back. Space between the shoulder blades and the spine. Nice and easy. We'll switch. Inhale, right arm forward. Left arm threads underneath the right side of the chest. Palm facing open. Left temple can sink down. Take a moment, just let yourself sink in. Appreciate time when you don't have to balance, you don't have to stand upright, your legs don't have to work so hard. Refuel so those last few poses on the second side don't feel so challenging. You feel ready to rise to the occasion. Next, inhale, unthread the left arm, reach it forward. Exhale, ease your way up through tabletop. Adjust the hands, curl the toes, downward facing dog, stretch back. Note that if you have a dog or cat, they always end up on your mat sooner or later by the end of your practice. It's inevitable, it's like they're magnetized. Now from our down dog shape, last little bit of standing work, then we can relax. Inhale, the left leg sweeps up and back. You'll bend the knee, open up the hip. And then we start with our crescent lunge. So left knee to your nose, come forward, lift the shin bone up, look where you want to step, and then left foot between your thumbs. Feet hips width apart, always a good measurement to take. And then blocks, if you need them, you can place them right out at the front of your mat so they're ready for you to catch them in your balance if you want to. From here, root down to lift up. Take a moment, neutral pelvis, ribs towards the spine, tailbone towards the floor, and then the arms reach up. Now slowly, mindfully adding your balance. Inhale, left leg goes straight or straightish. Exhale, bend the left knee, torso halfway forward, arms sweep back. And then stay there or warrior three. Use your blocks, float your arms or keep your lunge. And then find your way back with or without the hands, back to your lunge, pause. 3 more, same thing. Don't worry about the wobble, that's part of it. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Try to squeeze the midline with your legs. Exhale, halfway forward, arms sweep back. Stay there or float the right leg, warrior three. And then find your way back, crescent lunge. Get stable 2 more times. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, halfway forward. Stay there or float. Right leg in the air, warrior three. And then float it back, find your lunge. Last one, best one, same thing. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, take it halfway forward. Push the ground away, you might float, you might not. 3. Outer left hip firms in for 2. And 1, float it back. Use your hands if you need to, little pause. Right hand comes all the way down to the mat or a prop. Left knee bends to a square, left arm reaches up into the air. And then left arm, take it up and over. From your shoulder blade, 3 big circles. Slowly and mindfully, take your time. And then after all 3, pause, reverse. 3 the opposite way. And 2. And 1. And then look down. Left fingertips come down. Right knee comes down. You might grab your props again. Left leg stretches towards straight. A bend in the knee is more than okay if you like that better. Inhale, chest towards your left big toe. Shoulders back. And then exhale, fold in. We've got 5 here. Collarbones wide, elbows pointing straight back. Last 4. 3. 2. And one. Now bend the left knee, eyes open up. Step the left foot flat. Get your props out of your way if you're using them. Fingertips to the mat, curl the right toes, lift the right knee. Step all the way forward, right foot meets the left. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. And then exhale, fold it right back in. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms around and up. Last time we're here. Exhale, Samasthiti, palms together in prayer. And then let's finish it up. Inhale, circle the arms back up. Don't forget, keep your belly toned. Exhale, swan dive forward, touch down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. This time the right foot stays where it is. Exhale, soften the knees, left foot steps to the back of the mat. So as usual, we're switching sides. Make sure you switch. Left heel spins down to the mat. Think warrior one. Not an easy pose, so take a moment to just kind of find it in your legs. Feet hips width apart, so your heels should have a good space between them. Right knee above the right ankle, and then as you press down, lift up, hands to hips to start. And you'll notice with your hands on your hips that your left hand is a little behind your right hand. So try to just encourage the hips to be more even. And then left arm reaches forward like you want to shake someone's hand. Notice if that helps a little bit. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Inhale, both arms reach up to the ceiling. And then exhale, just see if you can interlace fingers behind your back one more time. Maybe put the weird thumb on top this time. Squeeze the elbows in, reach the knuckles down. Inhale, you can straighten out the right leg as you lift your chest. And then exhale, do your best with this one. Bend the right knee, fold forward. You can rest on your right thigh. You can hover above the right thigh, or you can try to slide just inside of the right thigh. We're not here long, just keep it breathing. 3, and 2, and 1. Press down, lift all the way up. Nice and slow. Release the arms, warrior 1, pause. And then slice it open, warrior 2. Adjust your feet, heel to arch this time. Arms reach wide, hips sit low. From here, lean forward, flip the right palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. Last little bit on our feet. Exhale, side angle pose, top arm up and over. And then 2 more. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, side angle. One more time. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, side angle. Inhale to a straight-legged warrior 2, relatively speaking. So if you need to bend that knee, go ahead. Draw back on the right hip, lengthen forward. And then take your right hand down to your shin or a block. I've been liking a block lately. And the left arm's going to reach straight up into the air. Now play with it. It should feel like a nice expansive pose. If it feels compressive or like you're going to fall over, do something simpler. You can even be up here at the thigh instead of the shin or the block. We're here for 3. Be off our feet after this one. For 2. And 1. Now strong legs, press down and lift up warrior 2. Arms go wide, right knee bends. And then cartwheel the arms down, frame out the right foot. Spin to the ball of your left foot, your props. You can get off to the side. I was gonna say blocks, that doesn't make any sense. Props or blocks can go off to the side, and then big step forward again, top of the mat. This time as the feet meet, you're gonna bend your knees, sink your hips, keep bending, keep sinking, keep bending, keep sinking. Maybe hover the arms, see how low you can get, and then butt to the floor. So if you need your arms, use them. And then let's go Baddha Konasana, feet together and knees wide. Either peace sign fingers around your 2 big toes, or all 10 fingers interlaced around all 10 toes. So choose whatever one feels better and more natural. And then inhale, lengthen forward, open your chest. Exhale, keep that length, keep that space. And dive yourself forward. Shoulders down and back, collarbones are open. Soften the jaws a little bit. Check on your breath. Could it be slower and deeper? Last 3. And 2. And 1. Rest, rise all the way up, nice and simple. Flat back. Release your toes, take your right leg out, bring your left leg in. Stretch the arms up into the air, revolve to the right, so belly button points towards your right big toe, and then hinge at your hips, bow forward, keep reaching like there's cow pose in your spine instead of cat. Good, you guys, and then float the arms down. And just let the arms fall wherever they land. It doesn't matter if you catch a foot or an ankle or anything at all. Inhale, keep the chest reaching, shoulders back, and then exhale, tuck your chin. Eyes can close. Slower, deeper breath all over again. Just for 3. And 2. And 1. Flat back, inhale, rise all the way up. Switch your legs. Left leg out, right leg in. Same thing, zipper up your front body, reach the arms up, revolve to the left. So again, it's belly button towards the big toe, and then hinge at your hips, bow forward. Let the arms float down. Let the chin tuck down. Maybe the eyes close down. And then add your breath. 3. 2. And flat back, rise all the way up. We've got 2 more poses, then we rest. So bridge pose and pigeon pose. Step your feet flat, both knees bend. Your choice, depending on how tired you are, you can walk the fingertips down alongside of you, or use your belly, reach the arms forward, round your back, and roll down the length of your spine. Do a little extra core work if you're up for it. You're coming right into your setup for bridge pose. So as you land on your back body, scoot your heels in. So the heels of your feet are as close to your pelvis as you can get them. Feet parallel, which should be a familiar feeling. Release the arms, palms face open, and then step into your feet. Lift your pelvis up. And see if you can clasp hands behind your back so you can wiggle the shoulder blades a little further under the ribs. And then you'll lift your chin away from your chest. Shoulder blades draw down and back, chest wide open. Hold and breathe. 3. 2. And 1. Release, come all the way down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Take a rest. Right ankle, left thigh. Your choice, you can keep it really lazy and simple. Ankle over thigh, palms on belly, close your eyes, breathe. Or left thigh can pull in, right arm can thread through the space between the legs, and then maybe you clasp hands behind the left thigh. So see how you feel. Shoulders draw down and back either way. And then stillness might feel perfect, or you can add a little side to side, gentle rock of the lower body. If you do go for that side to side, make it really slow, really mindful so you can monitor every angle of the stretch. Three. 2. And one, release that left foot flat. Then the right foot steps flat. Then left ankle, right thigh. You can stay right there, palms on belly, take a rest. Or second side, maybe pull the right thigh in. Left arm this time would go through the space between the legs. And then fingers can interlace behind the right thigh if you want that. If you go for that one, pull the thigh in gently and draw the shoulders back, and then your choice to opt for a little side to side movement, or you can stay all the way still. Take note of what works best for you. Maybe you try both, and then land on the more productive option. Sometimes rest and being easygoing are much more productive than adding activity. That's a very personal decision. Last three here. Two. One, and then let's twist before we rest, just to wring things out. So release what you've got, hug both knees into your chest, knees as close together as you can get them. Open the arms wide to a T or a goalpost. And then lower your knees with the inner thighs touching or as close to touching as they can get, slowly to the left. Meaning there should be no point where you just drop your knees to the left. That's no good for the lower back. So very slowly from your core, knees go left and the gaze goes right. And then the right waistline gets a little longer as you firm that outer right hip towards the front of your mat. Shoulder blades are heavy underneath you. And you'll tune into your belly to lift back up through center. Nice and slow, take a pause when you get there. Gaze can go up to the ceiling, and then same thing, opposite side, lower your knees to the right. And there should be no moment where the knees just drop to the right. You're going so slow that you can feel every millimeter of movement and you're in control. And then gaze can go left, or you can look up at the ceiling, depending on how your neck feels at this point. Back to center, give yourself one more squeeze. You can even curl the back of your head off the mat, try to lift your tailbone up off the mat, get every muscle in your body to fire up one more time. And then releasing that, Shavasana. Let the arms, the legs, all of your body parts just kind of glide out into a comfortable place. If you're chilly, add a sweater or a towel or a blanket over your chest so you can stay warm enough. If you've got low back issues and laying on the floor doesn't feel great, blocks or pillows behind your knees and thighs might feel amazing. It might be very helpful. But take a moment if there's any final setup things that you need, you can make that happen. Even a cover for the eyes might really change your Shavasana around. And then back of the head heavy. Land in a position where you won't be tempted to fidget. And take rest. If you've got more time in your day and you just like to linger, feel free. 1 more minute, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, whatever you need. If you feel fulfilled and you're sort of ready to bring yourself back, start with the breath. Let the breath be slow and easy. Move your toes, move your fingers as the breath gets deeper. Stretch the arms up and overhead. And then hug the knees into your chest. Roll around on your back from there, maybe front to back, maybe side to side. And roll over to one side or the other. Take a moment just to curl up into a fetal position. Make note of your breath, make note of any intention that you set. Bring that with you as you come all the way upright, slowly and mindfully to find a seat. As you sit upright, sit comfortably. So maybe grab a prop, or maybe you feel more comfortable not needing a prop now that everything's loosened up. But regardless, find a tall place. Make it as symmetrical and as balanced as you can. Inhale, bring the palms together in front of your heart. Exhale, intention in mind. We'll finish with Om, so feel free to join, feel free to listen as always. Take a nice deep breath in to prepare. Bow your head to your heart. The light in me honors that very same light in each one of you. Namaste.